used to be new ones. And music is always a reflector of the society in which we are living. It reflects everything about our society, our culture, our thoughts, the leading concepts. And so, as living composer, our role is to reflect what's going around us and to beautify it, to make it just more refined and give it in a musical form. That's why new music is ever so important for people to listen to in order to get what really is going on. The composer is channeling everything that's going on through the music. They try to be as sincere as and honest with the music and give it, whether it's a tough to listen to music, whether it's pleasant, all these complexities come through the music. And that's why it is ever so important to listen to new music and to enable and to promote and to sponsor new music, so that we not only leave a mark of what's going on with our culture, but also we know how to express it and bring more beauty into our lives.
There are so many positive things that happen when performers and composers collaborate together on projects such as this one by Transcontinental. We're able to develop long friendships. We have conversations about the music beyond what appears on the score. We're able to collaborate using technology to answer questions efficiently as they arise during the rehearsal process. It is truly a wonderful way to work.
It's always exciting to be a part of creating a new work, commissioning a new work. And over the years, I've had the joy of commissioning works by many composers, but I'm particularly happy to commission works by women and people of color and other underrepresented composers. I think that's extremely important. As you may know from my series here called Tiger Lily Music, which features the music of women and people of color.
I normally sing a lot of opera, a lot of Verdi and Puccini and some French repertoire as well. And those all involve large groups of people coming together to create a big stage picture. Chamber music is very different, and I really enjoy it because it's great to spend time with just a few musicians putting together a sound, an ensemble, and especially in a new piece like this. It's wonderful to work with such talented colleagues and discover new ways of bringing this music to life. It's always a little bit scary when you're singing for the composer because you feel sure that whatever you do is not going to be what they heard in their head when they wrote it. But fortunately, I've developed a rapport, I think, with composers that I've worked with to figure out what it is they want and how I can make these little pieces of gristle in my throat do the sound that they were thinking of. So music like this, especially that is so well crafted for the voice and is so expressive of the emotions of the poetry, I think is just a joy to perform. And I'm glad I have the chance to do it.
New music has been part of my life for a very, very long time. I enjoy learning new pieces, and I feel it is a big responsibility as well. When I get new music from a composer, I feel very privileged. It feels like a present, but it's a present with a responsibility. I try to get the message of the music as quickly as I can. Sometimes I have a bit of an anxiety because I'm not sure if I'm getting the correct message, because many times there are no recordings for me to listen to, before from anybody who performed the piece before. Sometimes we get a MIDI recording, which I think is not useful at all because it doesn't reflect the instrument sound. So when I learn a cello solo piece, I go right away into it to find out the new language of this piece, and I always enjoy speaking to the composer to know a little bit about the background of the music, why he or she wrote it, what is the secret behind deciphering what's in the language.
As the grass shall grow, let us know peace. Let us know peace. Let us know
I think the whole idea of playing music of live composers is a social thing in addition to being an artistic thing, and I am lucky to have a lot of composers as my friends, and I feel very, very fortunate.
The future of classical music will be defined by its ability to embrace change, to create welcoming spaces for new voices and new thinking. Celebrating compositions by living composers is one of the best ways to do this.
It's a unique opportunity, and it feels like a privilege to explore with composer Ofer Ben-Amots the intentions and meanings behind the music and the markings in his scores. It's invaluable to hear him talk about the backstory of his pieces, his inspiration, his vision, and his insights into character. All these things go beyond the indications written in the score. The true goal of an interpretation can be revealed to the performer through direct contact with the composer.
Where on the other hand, where if you're dealing like with what we've just went through.
Yeah, entirely new pieces.
Entirely new
First
pieces.
recordings
Exactly.
for each one.
World premieres.
Yes.
So what's really interesting about that is now you kind of have this cocktail party and you're talking about the work and you're working together.
Yes.
And you're bringing to light this new composition that is not only a reflection of the living composer, who in this case we're very fortunate to have with us, but also the fact that this is the first time it is being documented in history. So it lays the foundation for future performances or generations to go back to and be like, oh, well, how was it done? You know, what did they do back then? And so that there is it's kind of an interesting way to put your stamp on that history book. The interesting thing about recording itself, and most of the artists that I work with, they're coming off of, be it a new composition that they've either commissioned or are premiering to the world, or be it a master, you know, something from the history books or you know, time.
Yeah.
Basically, they're usually coming off of getting to know the piece, taking it on tour, having done the world premiere already, and then saying, okay, now I feel like we're ready to document this moment. And so they'll book the recording session, then we'll get into session. But the difference is, once you get into the recording session, the perspective is, oh, I may be playing it here, but now I go back to that control room and I'm listening to it and I see and I hear, oh, wait, even though I really like that on stage after all these performances, maybe I want to tweak this a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole great, that's something that I really enjoy and I'll steal from Glenn Gould. I love take two.